Okay, I guess we're in. Anyway, I played already for a while today. This side, kind of getting to know this Italian players. A lot of, as you want to call them, spacos. So pretty much a lot of
That's not a
spew.
nice word.
Okay, a lot of these like a lot of levelers. For example, I just had a couple of minutes a hand here on table four where I doubled up against I love Muna, where I three-way c-betted the nuts on the 9-5-9 board where I had pocket fives and he raised. I'm in three bet and he just jammed over with pocket fours, like mostly probably thinking that I don't rep much. So
Okay.
yeah, sort of like this type of guy, or like the Barbons, extremely floaty type of guys. It's kind of a little bit kind of hard without HUD, but you kind of get to used, and you're just kind of definitely a different way to improve at this game without HUD.
Mhm. Yep.
So
So let's see what happens. Four tables, not much. Oh, yeah, there we go.
yeah, I hope give some Gordon karma.
Yeah, I just want action. Otherwise, it will be too boring to watch. I mean,
Yeah, that's
come on.
true. Uh,
Well, shit happens.
that's
You
also
can turn the mug off. Maybe, I mean, maybe if you want to show hands to people, that's fine. But yeah.
That's an interesting part about this network. I will talk, guys, about it later in the add-on of this video about this network. But basically, you cannot see the hands if the player have the options to not show the hands. So sometimes you're not able to see what a player showed up at showdown, which kind of forces you to put more focus on the tables and really try to pick up on people's tendencies. Here, for example, with Ace 8, I noticed that Angel is a fish.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like a calling station that mostly dunks, when he dunks, has some sort of like a mixed value range um, with middle pairs and top pairs. And when he check call, he's mostly on draws. So, that's for now
Mm-hmm.
what I have on him.
Okay,
Um,
good read. Yeah, I mean, perhaps you can do another day. You can perhaps do like a review how you set up the site and how you write notes and whatnot.
yeah. I think on this board texture, I think with Ace King, I'll just probably against the short, I just check fold. Um,
Yeah, I would have bet half pot. If he has BS without a club, he will fold. It's I mean, again, it would be easier to see stats. It's not super terrible to check fold there, but you could try half pot. I mean, just because I don't know if that guy's a good short stacker
no.
or if he's just clicking buttons.
I don't know. I don't think he's a short stacker. But yeah, I mean, I just generally kind of avoid this kind of close spots against
Yeah,
fish.
I would have pot bet because I mean, you're not getting bluff. I mean, if he raises or whatever, it's not like you will have a tough decision. And I would have bet there just because, random donk could have a lot of hands. And he might be, the point is every time you are scared of something because you think, oh, scary board or oh, monotone, your opponent is very likely to think the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, and it's not really that I'm scared of the board. It's just like I mostly think, okay, if I'm betting here, and then what cards am I continue barreling because I really don't want to get it one and done.
Why
So
not? I think
because
a monotone board is very good for one and done.
I person not against the donk personally. That's my opinion.
Okay, we would have to check that. I
Yeah,
don't have a recap.
simply because a
Okay.
donk, in my eyes, simply calls frequently with 8 high flush draws, where he has mostly gut
I
shot.
know. I like. Okay, this would be homework. I assume like when I say that I would bet half pot, I assume that I would never ever expect him to fold any flush draw. Like I don't expect him to fold. I might expect him to fold second pair. This is interesting. Yeah. I mean, should we? Is there you? There's something for everybody who's watching. You have to check out if the site takes money on a split pot. If they don't do, obviously we should have jammed because we have the nuts. But yeah, if there is money, on a split pot, like if the side still rakes, you should only call because there's almost no way that the guy's calling with worse. However, if you have the nuts, you should still jam, hoping the guy might make a misclick or, I don't know, times out or folds or whatever, and then you can still win. Even if it's like 1 in a million, it's possible to do so.
But yeah, and probably with the nice deal, it's definitely not that big of a problem.
So why do you see bet here against two people with ace five?
That's interesting because yeah, I just misread that Chicho came along. I thought it was heads up for a moment.
Yeah, I think we just got lucky there. I don't like the c-bet against what looks like two likely not so good players.
Yeah, I also don't like it when I saw that when you criticized me now when I saw that Chicho was in. I also didn't like it too much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of misread the situation. Again, I think I will expand here my MP range, given that I have a limper. And
yep.
Can never be that bad.
So here I would have taken a note. I know in this video we focus on other things, but I would have taken a note right away that I Love Munir folds to 4-bets. It's not like a shocker. I mean, we didn't expect him to always have the nuts, but it's important to know that he's a type who will fold to 4-bet. One of the categories I put my opponents in is do they call to 4-bet or do they fold? So, I mean, just nothing else because that tells me how to play. So what I will not do is I will not 4-bet thinly for value, for example, because I expect him to be polarized. Okay. Here, I guess that's easy. Please bigger. Oh, yeah, okay, you're doing it. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll try to comment after you did do the plays. Or, like, I mean, you asked me. I don't know what the... Yeah.
Okay, I will do it here. 12 because of my kicker. But again, I think he's kind of a passive opponent, which will not really bluff me off here, so I can comfortably bet fold here. That's my opinion, and still get value from draws on 4x, 7x. I mean, it seems like a pretty weak player, sort of like a stationary for now.
Yeah. Is that actually a standard? Like that guy looks like Diego Maradona.
Yeah. That's like the way I have, for example, Mr. Bean.
Oh, it is Mr. I thought about Mr. Bean, but he didn't look like perfectly like. But that's a funny idea for avatars.
Yeah, you have Mike Tyson on table 2, Dennis Rodman for Cameron Diaz. So yeah, it's yeah, I would say definitely the software is actually pretty good. It's you can see that they're kind of new, but there's a lot of space for improvement. But I think the whole idea is definitely really good with the software, and it's definitely pretty stable. For example, way more stable than iPoker, who's way longer on the market. Okay, here just min still pre-flop. Didn't work out. I guess I'm going to check fold.
Yep. On this board, it's all 3 cards are somewhat connected to each other. Okay.
Now,
what do we know?
As the standard, we're going to fire. See. Also, I'm like generally skeptical against the regulars. Doing this twice now. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go away, but don't really know what that's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, that's the disadvantage. I mean, we just have to keep watching, taking notes, and learning.
Yeah,
just remember, maybe we can use it one time.
Yeah, because exactly, that's I think the big, actually a big plus of this network, because you kind of improve in a different way and by being more observant, which I think 6-max player are not that often.
No, especially if you play many tables. Yeah. That's why also, I mean, I'm in the camp of making the highest early and being effective, so I'm not like one of, there are many religious people in terms of, oh, you have to observe, and then there are the camp who play like, oh, no, you have to play many tables. I'm just looking objectively what's making you the most money. That depends like on you, on your site, and on your opponents. And we've talked about that in all our other coachings, but it's very important to look at your environment and adapt to that. There's no price for idealism in poker, whether people like that or not. It's just you look where the money is and you go there. That's if you're a professional or if your goal is to make money at that game, that's what you got to do. So yeah, that's why, we have changed the site, and this is why we keep observing. So yeah, here
Uh,
is Jack. We
I,
do.
I would fold.
Okay, that's a tight fold. I typically call there, but I don't know, maybe you know something
For the
else.
sake of the video, we could probably call, but I think this guy is extremely tight in my opinion. Haven't really seen him playing at all.
Well, I know nothing about that guy, that's
No,
why.
I'm just saying, and we're already playing like for an hour, so I'm kind of having a
Okay,
feeling.
well, I mean, if yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you have a special read? That would be one. So instead of, you could even bluff raise here or call and float and hope to take it away. But of course, if you think that guy is somewhat tighter, you just fold. Like again, you have to say that, of course, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what I observed. I didn't see him one time, not one single time going to showdown, and I guess in an hour when somebody doesn't go one single time to showdown, it's probably a little bit funny.
I don't know. I mean, depends how many. Um, could be bad luck. I don't know. It depends how many hands you play. If you play like whatever, if depending 100, 200, well, probably more like what's it like 60, 80 hands on the table? Do
Yeah,
you know the?
60, 70 probably per hour.
Okay, so let's say you have 60 hands. His VPIP is, let's say, 30, just to make it higher. So 30, that means he had on average, that's like 18 hands, okay?
Okay.
Out of those 18 hands, the hands that end on the flop, and we could check out those statistics. I forgot the numbers. We checked it out once. But like, I think at the flop, like the majority ends, maybe like 14 out of 18 or 15 out of 18 will have ended by the flop. So then stuff ends by the turn and on the river, and maybe there was one hand by the river, and you didn't see the showdown on one hand. So it's very hard to prejudge people. I would try to judge them on different things. Yeah, if they haven't done anything crazy or didn't raise, it's definitely an indicator, but you have to be very careful. Yeah, so I would have never made a big fold. Ace-Jack is not a big fold, so we could have done that, but you still have to understand it's a tight fold. And you just have to know what you're doing and not exaggerating. The other way around as well. I mean, statistic and variance is just a bitch, so you have to be really careful. I mean, if you see somebody with something crazy at showdown, you probably know that they're an idiot. But other than that, if somebody raises 2 times, doesn't mean much. So most important thing is just to play a very solid game. And once you have a read that is actually usable in practice, or somebody does something really strange, then you take a note.
Looks like I don't really get a lot of action.
Nope. There we go. You got it.
Okay, that's the kind of for now loose guy. Pretty cally.
Barbons.
The Barbans, exactly. Pretty cally
Yeah.
for now. For example, I didn't where you were speaking. I was in a hand with him where he was calling with Ace King suited, then just playing extremely passive post flop. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I think I'll probably he checked already once back. So I still think I should probably check instead of donking. Yeah, he checked behind. Okay, on this board tech, on this card lead, I would check again
Yep. Why? Explain it to everybody watching.
because it's like a card that hits his perceived checking behind range very good.
Mm-hmm. And
And since I checked twice, people might take a stab, especially on this card.
yeah, I mean, we would definitely bluff here if we had nothing, but we check here I don't see us getting any value from a worse hand. Yeah. Now here's something very important. Like here we don't see his hand, right?
No.
That's so like on other sites. I mean that's a disadvantage of the site. You got to be fair. Like there's not everything is awesome. Um,
But
this is take advantage. If for example, if he shows like a I don't know 10 high, what is it, queen high, then we definitely know that he can give up without bluffing. Um, Here on the turn it's also good because people have learned how to make a delayed c-bet bluff, even at lower stakes. So we were definitely never folding our hand. But yeah, you wanted to add something.
yeah, I wanted to add. The funny part is that I think the other side that uses this principle of not showing cards on showdown if the player chooses so is PKR, and PKR is, in my opinion, one of the juiciest com sites. So obviously, it does have something that attracts recreational players. Or
Mhm. Yeah, it's a good comment, and I mean people can I mean I know you did a report on many sites. People can check that out, and perhaps we can. I think many people have asked me if you can make like many of my students and many other people just ask, can you ask Hans to do more like more of those reviews because they like your your objectivity and how you do things. You're not you're not bullshitting. That's good. So yeah, what happens is
1 second, Gordon. Table two, he checked behind the flop. I don't think on a three after he called, given this position, that he's going to fold on a normal bet on the river.
yeah, I agree.
So I hope that he might even have a little bit of showdown value if wonders happen. Okay, not really gonna work.
Well, I mean, I don't know what happened there again. You bet the
No,
wait,
no, he checked the flop back,
huh?
called the turn bet, and now is betting the river.
Yeah, there's almost no way he's bluffing.
That's why I said probably
Yeah.
something like
I
jacks.
think you could have still bet the river. I don't know. I mean, if he's very colly, you shouldn't.
No,
So
no, no. Against him, definitely not. I mean, as I already told you, he's from what I saw from one of the most colly regulars.
hmm
Like,
yeah.
yeah. The
Okay. No, no, I mean, no, that's fine. I mean, our default line is to bluff twice, but again, we adjust if we see something.
the problem was also, I think, the positions under the gun versus small. Sorry, MP versus small blind is, I think, a little bit more harder than button versus.
Yep.
So yeah, use of
That
what?
too. Just to finish quickly the poker sites because that's also a question I guess you get a lot and I get it every time. Which side to play on? Again, there are many factors, and we should have some sort of report sooner or later, so players or maybe players can ask you if they feel like they want some advice. Because again, every site has their ups and downs. I mean, we talk bad about iPoker and stuff, but yeah, I mean, if somebody plays a lot of tables and has no, has a good edge on beating reg. I mean, there are people who have easier time with reg type people, and then there are people who have a worse time. So, you can obviously get the highest reg back probably out there on iPoker, but you always have to understand, of course, you pay a price for that, and that is that other sites like this one, um, you get weaker players, but of course not the type of rate back you could get on iPoker. Also, there are some sites safer than others, some sites more established. So what is really important for anybody looking where to place, either educate yourself about it, that's part of it, or educate yourself and ask somebody. For example, I mean, I know Hans likes helping people, but ask people who are experts at this, because this can be really expensive if you do it the wrong way. Oh no, this can be expensive here too. What happened?
I opened, he called, and this guy squeezed. It's generally
And he
pretty
pitched.
act. It's a pretty active player, I think, generally in terms of three betting and squeezing, and like sort of like a pre-flop monkey, probably an Italian. So I definitely decided to call with Ace Jack,
Mhm.
but the called caller probably has something like Jacks, tens, nines, that he decides them after because of the dead money, probably to get it in.
Yeah, for everybody thinks we have problems with Italian, with our Italian friends. That's not the case. I mean, there are many people who will not know that the name looks very Italian, so it's not because he was a pre-flop donkey that we thought he's Italian. It's because of the name. We don't want to offend any. I mean, I like offending people, but for the right reasons. And yeah, I've lived in Italy. I like it. I like the
Uh,
Italian.
and I
Although, to be fair, they may not be the best poker players. Let's be honest. Let's not sugarcoat it. But my Italian friends and poker players say the same. So, anyways, yeah.
and I played with Italians at my time at Enet.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of, and I, since I'm really grown to the Italian, to Italy, I really know some names since I also understand Italian. I really understand, they're like very into anime, manga and stuff like that, so frequently giving nicknames, poker nicknames after they're like, I don't know, cartoons or whatever. So that's why I
Okay.
frequently recognize that somebody's in, most likely, I repeated, most likely in Italian.
Oh, is Chuchina? Is that an anime thing or?
Who? Chicho?
I have no idea about that stuff. Like,
Nah,
yeah.
it's probably for Cucina, but probably couldn't write it. Probably somebody already took the nickname.
The kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's great. I mean, if they don't even know how to spell. Okay, come on. Let's make something.
Okay, Ace Jack here. This, what am I talking? Ace Jack.
It's I was gonna say, well,
7-6 suited. Okay, it looks like on every table we have one dunk, so that's only on this table. I don't know if this first is a dunk, but here we have one D'Artagnan and Laylo. Backdoor flush draw. I think nobody gave a shot at the pot. I'm probably going to stab myself.
oh, wait. Overbet, bet 16. I think this is a great spot to try to get people out right now if they don't have an ace. This is like one of the things that you do once, and that works quite well because again, it's very unlikely that somebody has an ace, and it's if you do the overbet once and if they haven't seen it before, people play usually very, very carefully. It could have worked. I mean, the truth is, a dollar bet could have worked as well. I don't want to say it wouldn't, but it's a rare and a great spot to put maximum pressure on people. And again, the people who say, oh, it's obvious. There's always like, yes, if you see it, it's obvious. But all those people who say like, oh, it's so obvious, you would never do that with an ace. Well, in a way, you're right. But on the other side, the same people still don't call. So I don't want, like, the point is like, this is what I see a lot in forums. People are smarter and they talk, but like what they do is something different. And so before you think now it's so obvious, look at the table what you are doing yourself and then come again and let me know. And the truth is also if you regularly call like, I don't know, over bets with like third pair, you're not going to have a very healthy bankroll anyways. So yeah, it's a great spot to do that. Because it looks also ridiculously strong. Okay, 9-10, we have a funny, interesting decision
Yeah,
to make.
because the guy made a min 3-bet pre-flop, and we were 3-way on the flop. He bet the flop and now bets the turn again.
What would you do?
I guess I'm still inclined, given the sizing. I should probably call.
Call. Be quick.
No.
Yeah, we don't have time. Ah, shit.
Yeah, you have an additional 30 seconds after the first clock goes over.
Ah, okay. My bad.
And yeah, no, I guess some easy fold.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna be the spew monkey.
Yeah, in course and everything. I mean, we talk in more detail about min 3 bets. Short version is we would have called there pretty light on different rivers, but yes, this is one of those that we will fold, and that's just how it is.
Unlucky
I
run.
was shocked the guy bluffed though, but yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty decent spot for him, but the problem is if he does understand it.
Yeah, he might do it for, he might make the right play for the wrong reasons. Okay, too bad. There's not much going on in the video. We'll have more entertaining videos hopefully in the future.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Okay, I guess we can wrap up the video. I don't know how much the time is.
Um,
25. Yeah, I think that's a good time to stop. So again, there will be more entertaining videos, but I'll make a quick summary. Most important thing is not every video is pretty interesting. Like I admit, like this one is probably the most boring, but there's always other content that we fill in. So what you should take away from this video is, since this is a sort of a new site that we're presenting here, number one, always be careful, always be skeptical of everything. So don't leave too much money at a place that you don't know. That includes every single site, even the holy poker stars. Number two, on which site should you play? There are several factors. We'll give more detailed reports that you can read. You can also ask Hans, but you should understand there are many factors: weakness of players, cash and cash out, rakeback / bonus systems, and of course, you know, the way the opponents play, if they suit your style or whatever you want to call that, they suit your style better or worse. Those are all factors that you got to consider. There's no perfect site for everybody, but the most important thing is adapt the environment. Stop crying like, oh my goodness, iPoker is so tight. Well, yes, if iPoker is tight, you either play there because you like tight people or you leave. So also you could say like, oh, the site is so terrible, I don't get rakeback. Well, what do you like more, weak opponents or rakeback? Yeah, keep betting the aces. I mean,
I thought about, since this is
yeah,
kind of a
yeah. Let me finish the
okay,
thing. So keep on looking on your environment, and I mean, easy jam, right?
nothing else to do.
Yeah, and hope he has a flush.
King Jack.
Uh, uh, well, whatever. We'll never find out. But yeah, for example, on this side you cannot see your opponent cards. It's shown on, but yeah, shit happens. Educate yourself or ask and talk to people who are already educated, who have a lot of experience and who are willing to help you. That's very, very important because otherwise you're just going to get second and third best deals. You're going to get second best and third best advice. You'll have no contacts. So make sure you're smart about that because that's actually one of the easiest things to do. I mean, learning to beat poker is harder than that. Like right now, all you have to do is listen and ask smart people, and they will tell you. Like Hans, for example, among others. So, yeah, that's my comment so far. Anything else from you? Let's watch that hand.
Yeah, less hand for today, I guess. We're playing, as I said, he's pretty collie, so I guess I'm going to bet here twice as a default because I said he's pretty collie. So no
Uh-huh.
point in doing anything else. But yeah, he snaps folds. Insta fold. So yeah, I guess that's it as well from me. I will tell you about this site later on in the video. Okay, thanks guys for watching and talk to you later. Bye bye.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye.
So welcome to the second part of this video. As you may have noticed already, I played on kind of a new network, so I want to present it here. That's the Hive network. So I guess we shouldn't waste any time and jump right away into the presentation. First, I prepared some facts about this network. It's a new network, launched probably in the end of 2013, not really sure. Has two most known operators. It's Planet Win 365 and Yachting Poker, with the last one being already active in the poker market for a couple of years, I think. And what I think in all these facts that I listed, I think the most interesting fact and eye-catching thing that comes up right away is probably that it's accessible to Italian players. The Hive network devoted himself really to attract the Italian players also by offering them like an Italian, special Italian poker format that is played there. So hopefully more recreational Italian poker players are gonna be attracted and attempted to to probably play on this network. What I think is also pretty important to mention is a small site for now, because you can see peak time has approximately 2K players, which is not bad. I mean, it's you can just already see it's a small site, and I think it's pretty important to notice that it's a Euro site, so it's probably not very favorable to Australian poker players. For the VIP system, well, yeah, it's kind of pretty standard. If you want to know more about that, you can probably contact me. Um, the way you can contact me, you're gonna see by the end of this video. And also, what is pretty noticeable is that tracking software is for now banned. Not it's like banned, you just cannot get a HUD going. I wasn't able to get it going, but I hope somebody in the future might find a way how to get a HUD going. At least that would be nice. So the pros and cons of this site, I think the pros are fairly strong in terms of like we have like stable software, as you already saw in the video. It's and as I already said in the video, it's pretty stable. I didn't have any problems, not at all actually, while playing there. The interesting player pool is actually the fact that we comp players are able to play with Italian players, which is always a nice fact. And if you played with Italian fishes, then you know what I'm talking. And one of the bigger pros is as well that it's easier to move up through limits. That's something that is quite common for all smaller networks. This is simply the fact that you're frequently going to see regulars that, for example, are playing next to you in L50. They're playing as well on an L100. So you sometimes see a table where there are two fishes, possible fishes with broken stacks, and three regs who you already know. So you can use like all of a sudden pretty reasonable aggressive bankroll management and move up through stakes, and move down if necessary, of course, if you have the discipline, much more quicker than like on bigger sides where you always have like the unknown effect that you know like open 4 different table on focus stars, you're shotting and you have like 20 new players that you never saw before. But yeah, what I mean is that's in general pretty much a pros of all small sites. The cons are, of course, that we are playing on kind of a network that it's young and doesn't have any reputation and credibility behind it. So it's always like there's a lot of uncertainty behind it. The showdown functionality basically means that you cannot see the whole cards of your opponents when it gets to showdown unless he doesn't have unchecked the option. I think it's customizable, but not really sure. But in general, it's a little bit different when you have no HUD and you also don't see your opponent's hands showdown. Also, I think the rake is on the higher side. Have no really big sample to back it up, but for now it does seem to be really on the higher side. And of course, traffic issues for some players in different time zones might come up as well. And as already said, tracking software isn't, I guess, hardly ever a pro. I mean, for some people who love this fact, it's probably going to be a pro. For me, it's going to be a con. So for who is this network? I think this network is very suitable for low stakes player, in particular an L50 player. The reason why an L50 player is actually because there's a decent amount of juicy action at L50 tables. I played there a while, had like a shallow roll when I deposit, so I was playing a bit and was like really impressed with how juicy the action was at NL50. And as being said, the NL50 players can shot take more easily in N100 if there's some juicy action going. I think it's also very suitable for hobby players in terms of like if we're playing like in a tougher competition, variance is higher. and downswings come up. So it's not really suitable for somebody who plays poker as a hobby, like in going through all these rough times. So you got somebody who plays poker as a hobby, want to have like some nice time at the tables. So I guess for them it's probably more suitable. Um, and I guess for a mid-stakes player looking to use the same strategy as I do, playing on multiple networks, for them it's probably as well good to add smaller side. I mean, deposit a smaller amount, probably always catching up on the lobby if some juicy action is going, and yeah, get 1-2 tables, 3 a day. And I think it's suitable for players who like to improve in an unorthodox way. What I mean by that is basically since you kind of lack the information from showdowns, you just kind of have to use and be like really focused on the tables to pick up on the all the possible informations that you can get, because I don't understand exactly the rule when the cards are being shown, but there sometimes they are shown. So you should probably be really concentrated and focused on the table and try to take as more notes as you can get. So instead of, okay, my opponent c-bets the flop 68%, you should probably think more in terms of like, okay, what type of opponent am I playing here? So I'm playing a Spazzy player, okay, I'm never folding my top pair or stuff like that. So it's definitely sort of like playing poker in a definitely quite unorthodox way in terms of nowadays games. I don't think this site is very suitable for mass grinders or people who are generally currently in the hunt on some loyal schemes. Like, I don't know, if you're on your supernova hunt, you should probably not give up on that and switch to this side. Or like, you want to just gain black card studies, you should probably not give up and rather continue there, because it's, I don't know if it's going to be more profitable. I don't think it's very suitable for non-European players as main side. I mean, Canadians and South American players might even have a nice time if it fits in their grinding schedule, possibly. But people from the Eastern Hemisphere, I guess they're not gonna have very nice time there because of traffic. And I don't think it's very suitable for people who don't feel comfortable playing without a HUD. I'm not one of those, but I think there are a decent amount of people who simply just don't feel comfortable playing without a HUD, so they should definitely, for now, I repeat it, for now, stay away from this network. And I think it's possibly not suitable for a micro-stakes player, because the rake seems to be, for now, kind of the higher side, as I said. So if the rake is on low stakes, pretty high, I guess, on micro stakes, I don't want to even think about it. So yeah, I hope I gave you guys a nice overview of this network, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment in the comment box below, or you can send me an PM, or the third option, you can email me at hansthegreat@bestpokercoaching.com. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck. Bye bye.